Here's Johnny.
If you've been following me over on Twitter, you'll know I was sent out that Aero fragment by 4114 earlier, and today I'm going to be closely going over all the features and performance to see if this pad lives up to all the hype. Huge thank you to the guys over at 4114 for sending me this pad to test out and review. As always, all thoughts and opinions in this video will be my own, and the fact that I was sent this out early will have zero impact on how I feel. Before the review starts, I would also like to say that 90.9% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so if you enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe below. For a general overview, the Aero is a chunky boy coming in at 530 by 490 with a 4mm thickness. It's a really large pad and it's still rectangular in shape, which is great. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of square pads, but again, this is just personal preference. The Aero is being sold for $50, which includes a smooth twill polyester spandex surface, the well-known FRAGMENT design, and a mediocre pour-on base. I'll be going into more depth on each topic later on in the video. The Aero has a super tight-knit texture, meaning that micro adjustments are fast and easy, and you actually don't lose that much stopping power. In terms of speed, it is a faster hybrid pad. It's got that dynamic friction that you expect from a hybrid, which causes the pad to feel a little bit slower than the Infinite Speed V1, but it is definitely faster than the Saturn Pro. So far, I can definitely say that the Aero experience feels similar to GameSense LiDAR, Infinite Hybrid, or maybe a less textured Freefall Control Plus. When I was testing various mice on the pad, I found that I enjoyed the X-Ray Pad Jade mouse feet the most when testing them out. I found that the Aero and the Jades really complement each other, and it's what felt best in my opinion. This is coming from someone with a speed pad preference. However, if you do want a little bit more of a controlled experience, I can recommend maybe core pads, as those felt a little bit slower on this pad, and it felt more controlled overall. I also noticed that using a sleeve did not negatively affect my ability to freely move across the pad. However, I've mainly spent my time with this pad actually using my arm, which also felt pretty fine. The Aero has a pour-on base that acts extremely similar to the Zowie GSR SE rubber base, where if you spin your mouse in a circle when you're aim training or playing OSU, the pad will actually begin to spin and move with you. This is an example of it. I'm actively moving my hand in a circle. This is also achieved with a mouse, but you can see this gap in the top left start to move, and you can start to see the entire pad tilt to the side. Because it took such little force, this caused me to constantly adjust the pad while playing Kovacs or Fortnite, and it was an issue that caused me to want to use a different pad altogether. I would have liked to see an IPU or alpha cell base, as I find those bases do a better job of staying on my desk. I've tried putting some water into the base, which helped a little, but I don't want to rely on water for a consistent mousepad experience. I also think that asking for $50 for below average performing pour-on isn't the greatest thing. For $50, I would have liked to seen, as I said before, an IPU or alpha cell base, as I find those just better performing overall. The Aero has pretty standard level stitching, maybe slightly below level, that I didn't really notice when I was playing with a sweatshirt or sleeve. However, when I was using my bare arm on the pad, it was something that I would occasionally notice. Noticing the stitching while playing may be a result of me not really using my arm on any pads, making the experience somewhat new to me, so this is something I wouldn't explicitly blame on the Aero, but it's definitely something that you should keep in mind. So talking about the maintenance of the pad, the Aero is a vacuum when it comes to catching dust, hair, or other particles. I've got longer hair, a dog, and do work on my desk, and the Aero picks up all of it. This is incredibly frustrating, as I find myself repeatedly wiping down or picking up hairs out of the pad. In the future, I would love to see a surface improvement similar to how Artisan improved the Zero, as it now no longer catches these hairs and gets them stuck in the fibers as easily. On the actual announcement post for the Aero, it is listed that it features a humidity-resistant coating, which left me really confused. I later figured out, after talking with some of the guys at 4114, some other companies, and some more testing, that the humidity resistance comes from hydrophobic properties found in the actual materials, as well as certain design choices to help promote the release of moisture. I found that the marketing for the Aero to have a humidity-resistant coating was a mistake, and I was told that it'll be changed going forward. In my time spent with the pad, I think that the experience feels super similar to the Infinite series, where if I got sweaty or got moisture on the surface of the pad, it would have a slightly noticeable impact on my performance. If humidity is a massive problem for you, I recommend looking at the GSR or GSR SE from Zowie instead, as those have better layers that are really meant to help fight the moisture. Another thing to mention, courtesy of the whale, is that one of the original prototypes from 4114 had a really bad lifespan, as it only lasted 4 to 5 weeks before the surface was completely unplayable. This breakdown was due to the weave being very hard or tight in terms of the structure, which causes the fibers to break down really easily after certain amounts of use. While it's possible that the current Aero isn't impacted by the tightness of the fibers impacting its lifespan, it's just not something that I can speak on at this current moment in time. I have not used the pad for long enough. However, given the short lifespan of the prototype, this is something to keep in mind if you're seriously considering buying the Aero. Overall, the Aero 4114 is a good pad, but it's not great. Doesn't do anything new or improve on any important areas. The Aero feels almost one-to-one with the Infinite Hybrid, yet falls below because I just don't believe that the price matches the product. I think that for the Infinite series, which costs you $35, you're getting a quality product that performs pretty well and doesn't break the bank. However, for $50, the Aero gets you a much bigger pad with a worse base and a less premium feel to the entire experience. In my opinion, the Aero's price and all of the heavy marketing does not match the experience or expectations that I had. Many of the issues or gripes that I have with the Aero just do not exist with other pads that are cheaper or pads that are also $50 like the Saturn Pro, Kurosun Ninja, or even Memoria Pro. In conclusion, should you get the Aero? Probably not. While I have actually enjoyed my time using and testing the pad, I think that for the product that you're buying, it is overpriced and fails to compete with similarly priced pads that it currently exist on the market. The Aero holds a lot of room for improvements that I wish to see from 4114. I think that the guys over at 4114 are really bright and will hopefully take the necessary steps and feedback to improve the Aero and any future products so that they fit the market's current standards. I understand that this is their first time making a product, and I'm just sort of excited to see how they continue to improve in the future. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, huge thank you to 4114 for sending out this pad early. If you guys enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
I am nobody's master, got it? I don't want you here, and I don't want you here. I'm stuck with you.
How long until I forget your